Out in California, there was a woman whose license plate said Peace, P-E-A-C-E. But it seems that one day she got caught behind a rather slow-moving pickup truck on a narrow, windy mountain road. Well, finally, after poking along behind that truck for mile after mile, they came to a flat, wide spot in the road, and she pulled over in the left-hand lane and began to blow past that pickup truck. But as the woman in the car was passing the truck, she rolled down her passenger side window and reached for an aluminum baseball bat sitting in her back seat and began swatting it in the direction of the truck. When that didn't quite work out, she put the bat down and then picked up a can of air freshener that was sitting on the seat and tossed it at the truck driver. Later on, when a state trooper who saw what she did pulled her over, she explained that she was running late for an appointment and was getting frustrated at being stuck behind that truck. When the officer asked her about her license plate, Peace, she said that she got that license plate because she always thought there was too much violence in today's world. For the most part, we're pretty good at identifying what's wrong in the world around us. For the most part, we're pretty good at identifying what's wrong with the people that we know. We're able to point our finger and identify the lack of peace, the lack of love, the lack of caring that we see. We're able to point our finger and name all of the sin and cruelty and wrongdoing that we're aware of that's going on around us. But it seems that all too often we don't see the wrongs that are there in our own lives. Or if we do see them, we convince ourselves that it's not so bad. We convince ourselves that it's certainly not anything that we need to worry about or try to fix or correct. It's like a man who lived out in the country, but every year it seemed that the road in front of his house kept getting worse and worse, with more potholes appearing all the time. He kept calling the highway department to complain, but nothing ever got done. Finally, though, after he kept calling and complaining month after month, the highway department did do something. They came out and put up a sign along the road in front of his house that said, "Caution, rough road ahead." What are we doing about the rough spots in our lives? What are we doing about those areas in our lives that aren't entirely the way that they should be? Are we working each day to improve and correct those things that aren't right? Or do we take the attitude of, hey, nobody's perfect, and so I'm not going to worry about making any changes in my life? Unfortunately, I think many people choose that second option. For instance, church researchers have found that a real problem nowadays is that many young adults have a very negative opinion of Christians and of Christianity. Why is that, you might wonder? Well, according to one study, they found that most young adults, somewhere around 85%, say that they know a Christian. But at the same time, very few young adults, only about 15%, say that the Christians they know have a lifestyle that substantially substantially different from the non-Christians that they know. In other words, a real problem today is that lots of people go around saying that they are Christians. But not too many people are willing to put forth the effort to make the changes in their lives that need to be made. But what this passage in 2 Peter is saying to us is that if we're serious about being Christians, if we're serious about being disciples of Jesus Christ, then we can't go around just saying that we're Christians. We can't go around just saying that we are his disciples. No, if we're serious about being Christians, if we're serious about being disciples of Jesus Christ, then we need to live like that's who we are. Because as this reading in 2 Peter tells us, what we do with our lives matters. The choices that we make in life have consequences, eternal consequences. Because one day we're going to stand before Jesus and be judged. One day we're going to stand before Jesus and be judged on what we've done with our